Welcome back to the Meridian Pursuit Builders Podcast. I'm your host, Jesse Sampley, and this is where we sit down with home builders, developers, real estate professionals, and industry leaders who are out there doing the work. You'll hear real conversations about markets, design, mistakes and lessons learned, and how builders can position themselves in a way that brings more customers to the table. Let's dive in.
Okay, I am Tony McPeak.
I'm Megan McPeak.
We are third generation owners of a family owned business. Our business started about a little bit over 50 years ago in the Hardin County area. My grandfather was military and was stationed here at Fort Knox. And on his second or third tour of Vietnam, my grandmother, which is Japanese, they were married, and she was wanting something for her and her kids to have in case something happened to my grandfather in Vietnam. Because, you know, you go one tour, two tours, there's not a promise on anything. So they stopped into this little grocery store that had for sale by owner, a little general store, and it was in Vine Grove. And they went in there. My grandfather asked the gentleman, says, "This place for sale?" And he said, yes. So the guy was gracious enough to owner finance it. And when my grandfather was off to war, that's what my mother and her siblings, and there was four kids. My mom's Joni, she's the oldest, and then there was Mark Corvin, and then Carl Corvin, and Nancy Corvin. And from there, that's where Corvin's General Store kind of stemmed from. And I think the reason why the grocery store was just fate is because when my grandfather was growing up, his mother had a grocery store in Oak Hill, Ohio. And so as a young child, he grew up in a general store. So it was kind of a comfortable, natural fit, which I don't know if taking on debt's ever comfortable or risking something like that. But that's kind of like how everything originated. And today we're blessed to have, going in. I'm third generation owner. But you have my mom, which was active in the business. My uncle Mark has two stores, one in Bardstown and Lexington. My Aunt Nancy, she has a nice furniture store here in Hardin County. And then my uncle has a furniture and moving company that we started in Radcliffe. So that's kind of the backstory. When my grandpa returned from Vietnam, they already were entrepreneurs at an early stage. So they started in that grocery store, and then, my grandfather got his real estate license, was able to come across some different real estate opportunities, and then they ended up selling. My grandmother sewed, and that was something that she was very good at, and then that kind of got us in the textile business, in the carpet. They sold some used furniture, and that's how we got in the furniture business. And now, we deal with, on my side, we have, a floor covering and cabinetry here, and we have the furniture business. So it's something that kind of like we just kind of stayed with,
From the general store to the furniture side to the textiles and the flooring, did one big thing happen, or did it just kind of come naturally?
No, it was, I remember, growing up very modest. When I grew up, I was growing up in a trailer park. It was just a lot of hard work. And I think that with all of us working as a family, we wouldn't give up on each other. And I think that was the most important thing. My grandfather really instilled a hard work ethic that we still carry on to me and Megan's children. Me and Megan will be married for 30 years next year. And, we have another generation that's working with us here at the store, but them be able to hear the stories and the struggles. And, my family, they've been in all kinds of businesses, and, they successful to the point, yes, did it work? But was it work? Yes. And some of them it was so hard to where we just couldn't do it anymore. Like we ventured into my dad, even my dad, his name's Mike, and that's where the McPeak comes from. My dad, I can remember as a kid, he used to pump gas at a gas station, and he would work there at nights. And then he had an agricultural degree, and he had a lawn caring business that he started. And he sprayed lawns during the day. My mom would help him, and then come to the furniture store and work in the afternoon. And at one point, we ended up getting into the restaurant business, which was a disaster. The only thing that I can take away from that was good from the restaurant business is I remember being in middle school and being able to watch the Arsenio Hall show because that's what time I got home at night, So, there were sacrifices, but the sacrifices kept us close as a family. It's kind of, you work together, you break bread together, you're going to be successful.
That's a testament to the family character that you guys have, being, it sounds like 5 generations in. Not only sustain what you guys had, but also grow, with your family right there. That's pretty amazing.
I have a sister, she has a store in Texas. So the things that were taught to us at a young age, I did not. And, I spent a little bit of time at a community college, but I was learning and being educated by my grandfather and my parents from an early age of, treat people like how you want to be treated. It may cost you to do the right thing, but do the right thing. It's just those values, somehow we've lost that a little bit. And I'm just fortunate that I was able to grasp and keep a hold of that and be able to pass that down to my kids. I would not let my kids have a job unless I knew they knew how to work. So they had to work for me first. Yeah. So at an early age, they were working for us.
Yeah, my dad, he was the same. So my dad was a home builder, and we were on his job sites from as early as I can remember. And he did something that was pretty cool. If the project allowed for it, then he would say, hey, instead of hiring a framing crew, I'll let you guys do this. And he said, I'll let you guys take over framing. I'm not going to pay you as much as I was going to pay the real contractors to come in and do it, but it's going to give you an opportunity to learn. And it was really, really hard work. And we did that, all the way up until high school, but it really taught us, really strong work ethic and to have pride in your work.
Yeah, she gets on me like, so we'll go on vacation, and after 3 days, I'm climbing the walls. I can't wait to get back to do this. I am fortunate. I get to, wake up every day, and not only do I get to do what I love, I get the opportunity to help so many people, not just customers, but the people that I've been, blessed to be a steward of that work for me. So, when you can see people's lives transformed and changed, that is really fulfilling.
Yeah. And do you guys work a lot with just homeowners, or do you work with primarily builders, or what does that ratio look like?
We work with both, honestly. I would say probably percentage-wise, we're probably 60% homeowner and 40% builder right now.
Wow. 2008 and 2009 changed a lot of that. We used to be
primarily a lot of builder business.
And it just, unfortunately, that time period cost a lot of livelihoods for a lot of builders. And then there was just some people or some builders that were on the roster that really it wasn't good for our company to keep. So we built strong relationships with the builders that we do work for, and it's an ongoing relationship. They know that if I tell them something, it's going to get done. They don't have to worry about the pricing with me. I'm not trying to take advantage of any situations. It's a lot of trust there. So, and on the homeowner side, that's the nice thing with us. We are able to kind of play both areas of that market because we have a lot of qualified salespeople, and then me and Megan too. I mean, we have a lot of design background for doing this for so many years that we can help the woman or the gentleman that needs that attention to help them just pick out colors. I help them pick out paint colors, and I don't sell paint, but I want to make sure that their project turns out just exactly how they want it to.
Yeah. What other kind of assets do you think you bring to the table from even a builder side? Because it sounds like you could alleviate a lot of stress or decisions just by your expertise that you guys have.
I like it for my builders, and I hope they feel this way, but I like it when they send their homeowner in, they have the confidence that, one, I'm going to try to find something for that customer within their budget. And then two, I'm going to discuss like the differences between a budget and what they want. A lot of times homeowners have a hard time realizing that when a builder they're in competition with other builders in their area. So if they give you a budget that is 50% higher than the next builder, then they may have not even got the opportunity to build that home for them. Yeah. So we take an approach to where we take the budget in consideration, but we also, with Pinterest and Houzz and all these different apps that are available for people, we go and try to educate them on this is not what you standardly look at in a home, even in a custom home. We're doing a home right now it's in the Louisville area, and it's over $5 million. And even their expectations on their budgets wasn't what they thought it was going to be. But until a homeowner shops for something, they really don't know what it's going to cost them. They just know they like it by when they see it.
I'm about to say, why do you think that is?
I think it's perception and of what they're seeing on social media. And I think that a lot of times social media and networking on like HGTV and these programs, they will show a finished product. And, I've seen it many times on TV where they'll say this floor costs $1.50 a square foot. Well, I know for a fact that floor is $7 a square foot. So it's just, but again, that their job is entertainment too. Here's Obi. This is our grand dog. So
you can't leave him out.
Our grand dog. But we, it's just what people see. They don't realize the cost of what that's going to be, and that's where we come in, because we don't want it to look like the builder did anything wrong when he was budgeting their home, because he has no idea what you want when he's pricing 2x4s and nails and concrete. I mean, finishes in our market, finishes just change. Yeah, so much. And right now is a very challenging part because of the tariff situation. Carpet is manufactured in the U.S., so you can control a lot of cost with carpet. But the hardwood manufacturers, a lot of them come out of Canada. A lot of them are even overseas in China and in Vietnam. And with the tariffs, prices fluctuate. Fuel surcharges causes things to fluctuate. Tile comes from Italy. Even though you're shopping in a store in Hardin County, Kentucky, that product has came by ship, plane, or rail. And there's a cost to that. And I think that's the perception. So we just this year, we invested about $1.2 million in our own business for infrastructure to kind of help the consumers in our area. And what I mean by that is we did a huge warehouse expansion to where my warehouse is a 75 by 150, and we upped our stocking. So like right now, I may have 15 different SKUs of different hardwoods that people can choose from. I may have 30 different types of click-together vinyl, and we have probably over 200 rolls of carpet to select from in stock. See, when I can do that and use my buying power by buying truckloads, it helps the person coming in looking for a 12 by 17 bedroom.
How much extra time does that give you to be able to control the pricing by having so much bulk?
Well, what it does is it helps us control the installation factor, because we can, if someone comes in, we are a buy it receive it now type of generation or even mindset in America. If we see it, we want it, we buy it, I want to take it home with me. Yeah. Carpet and floor covering is still a touch and feel purchase. You want to touch it, you want to feel it, you want to experience it. So what that helps us do is we don't have to wait 5 to 7 days for shipments to come in on ordering. If we have it here and now, then we could put it in 3 days. We can put it in before the special order would even think about coming in.
So we order by the truckload. We get a discount for that, for quantity. And then also, instead of paying for 1 pallet of tile on a freight, we pay for 15 pallets of tile at one time, and we can split that cost up between the 15 pallets. So it saves the end user money as well.
Yeah, the cost will, there's no, just because we're buying that much, it's not like we're making more money. We're extending those prices because we're in competition just like anybody else. So we keep our products in stock at a very, very good margin.
If you buy a truckload of something, it could last us 6 months.
But usually I will barter or bargain that pricing structure for that year.
Yeah. So we'll say if we're going to buy this truckload, then we want to lock in this price for the entire year.
So that way, if I have to, and then I'll go in and I'll buy quantities of 3 pallets instead of just 1 pallet.
And if you're buying that far in advance, are there trends that you're keeping up with?
Yeah, we try to stay neutral. We don't tend to go very exotic on one thing or the other. And trends tend to be around for 3 to 5 years before they're going to change again. Grays were like the craze, 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, and now it's coming back into the beige tones.
Yeah. Has the black and white, is that trend over the farmhouse?
No, it's still out there.
I think it's still out there, but I think you're starting to see a little of it fading. People are going, instead of whites, they're going to more creams.
Creams, yes.
We're seeing brass come back and chrome. So
if you keep it long enough, it'll come back.
It'll come back. But like I think with us, like on carpeting back in the 80s, some of the carpets that manufacturers came out with would last 15 to 20 years. And so the repurchase of carpet, it didn't have to happen that much. Some of those carpets, they just don't, with the resurgence of hard surface, carpets just don't last that long anymore.
Man.
So we probably see people changing out their room every 3 to 5 years. And what's just nice is, how often does a woman keep her hairstyle for 3 years? Often. How often do I keep a set of golf clubs? Probably every 2 years. So I get tired of things just like everyone else. So it gives you the opportunity to change something.
Knowing that, what advice would you give someone that's building a custom home? They're at the part to where they've been given an allowance and they're choosing different products. Would you pass that on to them?
Usually we'll start that by kind of getting to know them, seeing what their lifestyle is like. Do they have children? Do they have pets? Kind of what is their daily activity? What's your expectations on the flooring? Is it just a temporary until you want to put something in when your kids are older and they move out? All those questions we kind of take in consideration. And then you have clients that they are dead set on, they want something that wears like steel. And then, a lot of times we'll show them that and price it to them. Then they're like, okay, let's kind of back off a little bit. But with today, what the way finishes are on hardwood, the way they finish the pre-finished hardwoods and some of these new innovative products on the vinyl lines, they are very durable. And I think that people would be shocked of what they have to spend just to get a good product. They don't have to reinvent the wheel or go pull a second mortgage on something to buy a nice flooring.
What's the most important spec that you're looking for with a good flooring? Is it millwear or there's something different people should look at?
Well, I think wear layer has a lot to do with it and what type of wear layer it is. A lot of, like when people do a lot of sand and finish hardwood, that urethane is going on that floor only to the temperature and the environment that it is installed in. When you go with a pre-finished hardwood, and normally sand finish, they can only put 3 coats of poly on it, and it's just straight urethane. So it's softer. On these pre-finished hardwoods, these engineered hardwoods, or even if it's a solid manufactured hardwood, they're putting 7 to 10 coats of sprayed finish on it with aluminum oxide, which is very scratch resistant. It's better for UV lights, so it's a lot more durable. On the LVPs, if it was me, I probably wouldn't buy an LVP product if it was under 8 millimeters thick, total thickness, and I would try to find something with a 20 mil layer minimum. We've had a surgence of inexpensive LVP, and a lot of that has been stemmed from the box stores. And you'll have these vinyl clicked products that are $1.99, and I have to carry them because I have people looking for them. But I can guarantee you within 3 years, those products will fail and they will come apart. It may not even take 3 years.
And that's probably not even factoring in, and if you have a more poor installation job than another, then there may be a defect on the floor from the very first time it was installed. A little buck or something like that gets out of control.
And the lock and fold floors. There's so many. If you read the instructions and the limited warranty on the instructions of the lock and fold floor, there is not a floor in the building industry that is within tolerance. Only way to get that floor within tolerance is a poor self-leveler, because I don't know anything that can be within a 16th of and 4 foot. So it has to be almost level. So manufacturers, and that goes to manufacturers will warranty a product, but your warranty is only as good as the store you buy it from. If you buy it from a reputable store and preferably probably a small business, instead a box store is just going to give you a 1-800 number to call and try to get your problem taken care of. If you come to us, you're dealing with one of our sales representatives, a manager, or if it gets to the point, you'll talk to me, the owner, or Megan, the owner. Warranties are only as good as the store you buy it from. On the carpet side, carpet has changed a bunch, and the carpet today is softer. It's more stain resistant. We have carpet that's in this display sitting behind us. You could spill bleach on it and it won't take the color out of it. So some of the products that are out there are just amazing, especially for an active household that even has pets. These carpets now, they're the pet-proof ones. It is very hard to stain them. So I'm a carpet guy. I like, stepping on carpet versus something hard. Now she wins, and we put hardwood in our house,
and then put rugs on top of it.
Put rugs on top of it. So we also sell a lot of area rugs and oriental rugs as well.
Okay. You guys do installation?
Yes,
we do. Everything we sell, we install.
I would imagine that the relationship is pretty well with builders to say, hey, you guys I'm going to send my customer in. You're going to help them pick out the product. And then after they pick the product out, then I'm just going to coordinate with you guys to come and install it. And I don't know if this factors into it or not, but since you also have the furniture side, it seems like you've got your position so perfectly for a builder to say, hey, you can take care of so much for us all in one time and under one umbrella. Tell me about a little bit of the relationship that you have with builders from all of that.
I think some of the builders choose to just do flooring with us. And, we're happy to have that business. And then more and more that over the years that we've done custom cabinetry, we have a lot of builders where we handle the cabinetry, the countertops, and the flooring. And what's nice about that is you can send a homeowner to one location and they can pick out their flooring and cabinetry without having to look samples around everywhere. And you're going to have direct attention to that customer, full service, to where we're going to try to meet every need that they possibly have and spend time with them and educate them on all the products. We probably are, about 60% of our builders are using our cabinetry lines now.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. And I think the builders, I don't want to speak for them, but there has to be a sense of relief whenever, because look, they're building more than one house and they can't walk around and hold a customer's hand on every decision they make. They are relying on us as professionals to kind of lead their customers and to help their customers in that particular area. May it be lighting, cabinetry, whatever it may be, the different professions. We need to take that responsibility so the builder can go on to the next thing he needs to do. And then what happens is after we get done with that customer, we send our quotes and let the builders know what the homeowners has selected. And if there's any, what we like to do, if there's any kind of upgrade expense or anything, we have those conversations up front with the builder first and then discuss it with the homeowner. And then we try to get those upgrades done here at the store directly instead of it being a bargaining chip at a closing table for the builder.
Yeah, that makes sense. You guys, how do you coordinate with other subcontractors? I know a lot of these builders are on, tight schedules. The person purchasing the home is always wanting to, get in by a certain date. And it's always the schedule is always something that's being juggled. How do you guys work with other subcontractors and make sure that when you're actually complete, you don't have the wrong subcontractor right behind you guys that are, maybe messing up what you guys just did?
A lot of that scheduling responsibility is on the builder. So he looks at his house and determines what stage it's in and what it needs next. So, and a lot of times it's several weeks out because he knows what's going to need to happen right after that. And we live in a small community. So a lot of the subs are used to working together on, even if the builder changes, the subs are still the same a lot of times. Mm-hmm. So they have the same painters, they may have the same trim guys. So they're used to working together. And then when it's time for us to come in and lay the flooring and the cabinets or vice versa, then we schedule that with the builder.
We will not alter schedule by talking with another sub, because the builder, the one that's putting the footers in and finishing that house, ultimately has their name on that house. So everything is scheduled directly to the builder, because another sub may ask us to do something to make something easier on his life, but it's not what the builder wanted. So everything's directed back to the builder.
Now, tell me, you guys have warranties on some product or all products?
All products.
Yes.
Do you have any stories that you've had to use that and use the warranty?
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, you'd never have problems. And, you don't want problems, but sometimes, either the installer wasn't having a good day that day, or you may have had something wrong with an actual manufacturer defect in a product and you didn't catch it. Unfortunately, in our world, if we lay it, we own it. So if we put it down, there was a manufacturer defect, the manufacturer will turn its back on the homeowner and void the warranty and says it's installation related. It's not the homeowner's fault that the product was defected, or it wouldn't be the fault of the homeowner if the product was installed improperly. And I've had times to where I thought 100% for certain that everything looked great and it was performing good until something was brought to my attention, and then we've ended up replacing. I will always kind of side with my homeowners before I will side with the manufacturer, because my homeowners are my repeat customers. My relationship with the manufacturers, it's a transactional relationship. I don't have to see a manufacturer in a grocery store or shopping at Target, where I sometimes will see homeowners, and a lot of times we'll see them at ballparks or wherever it may be. And I want to have a good name behind our business. We've been here, like I said, for over 50 years, and that means a lot to me. Now, I can tell you, not every customer probably would hear that and say, I'm speaking hogwash. But I'm telling you, the times that we have found something, and no one wants to be wrong, right? But the thing is when you look at something black and white, and if something's brought to me and I know that we didn't fulfill the things on our side, and if it was something that was manufacturer related, but they found a reason to claim it on us, then we're going to take care of those issues.
You can't fake your reputation. You can for a little bit, but over time, and you said this earlier, but it goes back to your values and how you treat people. And you want to be honest by people. You want to help those people, and you can never fake that stuff. I see on a digital side, those are Google reviews, those are Facebook reviews. That's kind of the social proof that people can air whatever they want about a company online. And Facebook and all these places, they really love it to see that interaction and to say, hey, if someone left you a really good review, take the time to appreciate that, respond to that person. If someone leaves you a bad review, respond to that person, hear that person out, and see how you can mitigate that. And then on just the social proof, it just shows people too of like, hey, these people are going out of their way. Obviously, everything's not going to be perfect, but these people are going out of their way to try to resolve this. And when someone's in the market for something, those reviews really do play a crucial role.
Yeah, I think where we're fortunate is our son, Braden, he's a twin. He's here at the store with us, and his wife, Maura, she graduated from Western with a degree in marketing
and business.
I am not the best Facebook user. I like going through seeing everyone's like photos. I don't like seeing all the negative stuff, but she's really good at our marketing side, and it's kind of really helped us. And before Maura was here, we were fortunate to have a lady by the name of Debbie Anders. She really helped us on our marketing campaigns. And it's just, even though Debbie was older than us, but that was kind of her niche. Just like I wouldn't know what to do with a video camera.
Yeah.
But you give me a piece of flooring, I can do just about anything you want with it. So we, just like anybody else, like the builders rely on us for our profession. We rely on people that are professional in their fields, in the marketing and commercials and stuff.
What have you guys seen work well on the marketing side?
Really a lot of social media, but not just regular content. People really like to interact when it comes to do something with the dogs. They really like seeing the reviews, testimonials. So we're fortunate enough to have those to be able to put on our webpage and on our social media feeds. And then Moore and Braden, I think they did a Harry Potter thing TikTok, and it had tons of views of people who weren't even in the state of Kentucky. It's just those things there, I think, is really going to be important. The social media side of business, for any small business to be successful, they're really going to have to learn how to do that. And with AI coming out, it's changing even faster.
And I feel like advertising is more than just your social media and your TV. It's also your community. Every school in the area comes to us several times a year wanting us to sponsor something, whether it be the ball field sign or for their jerseys or cross-country teams. So that's a way of advertising. We recently just donated a big piece of carpet for cross-country. They had a big meet going on. They needed some carpet to walk on. So we donated that.
We give away free remnants to teachers.
Yeah, we give away free remnants to teachers every year for their classrooms. So it's about putting yourself out there, giving those dollars where you can, and people appreciate it.
Yeah, I think people do appreciate it. I think that when it comes down to them making a decision on trying to buy something at a box store or buying something from a small business, that may make the difference. Hey, look, Corvin's has supported my kid's basketball team, or whatever it may be, baseball. So I think that does make a difference.
Well, people like to buy from people that they love, and there's no better way to showcase what a business's personality is. I mean, you say business, but really it's the owners, it's the company culture, and there's no better way to show that than on social media. You can see a very polished commercial, and you can run that same commercial as a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad. But the ad that's going to work a lot better on social media is someone holding a phone, talking to the camera and showing them maybe some different flooring options and just being real and authentic. And this is what I've seen over the years is that, so much time and effort and thought goes into this most amazing commercial. And then you pair that up against someone recorded on their phone and took them 15 minutes to do, and it just will get way more views, way more clicks, gets tons more leads.
That's the thing that you see all these different people on social media, and they just want to relate. Customers want to relate to who they're buying from.
Yeah. And also be educated. If you're the leader, then you're going to educate people and say, hey, if you're going to buy flooring, here are the 3 things that I would do, that I would check before you buy flooring. Hey, that's a great nugget that I can, wherever I shop, but I know that, hey, Corvin's gave me a piece of advice that I'm going to use now while I'm in the market for shopping.
Yeah, and I think the more and more we're getting into that digital world, people, when you see the more personal ads on social media, like Megan said, it allows them to connect in a personal way instead of just a thumb click. You know, with such a habit of just moving that finger, that when someone can relate to you on a personal level of, you know, of what your home, because your home, you know, it's every man's castle.
Yeah.
It may not be the 5.5 million. It may not be the 150. It may be a $30,000, but it's still their castle, and it's kind of their sanctuary. So we try to give everyone the same attention, no matter what their pocketbook can spend.
Well, tell me, what's next for Corvin's? You guys are doing a whole lot now, but what's next?
Well, hopefully,
we just got done remodeling 2 of our showrooms.
We remodel every couple of years.
Yeah, and we're getting ready to expand our cabinetry showroom. Our cabinets are doing well, and so we're getting ready to start that here.
January 1.
January. Mm-hmm.
And then after we get done with those remodels, we'll probably remodel the tile room next year. And then from there,
we should be good for a little bit.
And if there's any expansions that are going to be done, hopefully it's Braden's expansion.
Well, that is awesome. Well, as we wrap up here, do you guys have some key relationships that are real important for you and your business to grow?
Yeah, our builders are definitely a really important part of our relationships with the community. You know, when we have a homeowner that shops, we may see them every couple of years, but a builder will see them, you know, at least, you know, once or twice a month or something like that. But that relationship's really strong. I think with us, we've done a really good job from the beginning, from when my grandfather had it, is minimizing debt. So we don't carry a huge debt ceiling, but when we do need something from a local bank, we're able to go in there and have a good relationship with them as well. And then, you know, really my people here, the people that work for me directly, my sales staff, my order processors, and my guys in the warehouse in the back. I mean, and the installers. Installers are crucial. They are probably what drives our industry the most, because that is the there was a guy that wrote a book, what is your shrinking iceberg? And installers is our shrinking iceberg. The more that melts, we just don't have very many people there in that trade. And that trade is not taught in a school. It's taught by hard work. It's taught by dedication. And a lot of times it's passed down from generations. And, you know, that is just a very important side of it, is our relationship with our installers. Because ultimately, you know, we're putting installers in homeowners' homes, not houses. They're in their homes. And we have to trust our people that they are out there giving 100% every day, and that customer is going to be satisfied with from the install to you greeting her at the door to when you're leaving in your truck and you're going to your next job. The installers is a crucial role for our business.
They're the last ones that the homeowners see often before they come in here, and we have to make sure that they're going to represent Corvin's well.
People remember the last touch point.
Yeah. And we've been fortunate. We have good people working for us.
All right, that's a wrap for this conversation. If you know someone who should be on this podcast, send us an email at info@meridianpursuit.com and nominate them. We're always looking for great stories to share. And if you got something out of this episode, please leave us a quick review on the show. And if you're watching on YouTube, tap like and subscribe so we can share this with more people. I'm Jesse Sampley. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.